Something I've been working on really, really hard in my own personal life is just ways that I can push myself and continue to grow and be a tougher human being overall, mentally, physically, emotionally, in pretty much every way. Just trying to be a better, stronger, more well-developed, well-rounded person. And a part of that, I've been pushing myself in a ton of different ways. And some of that has been cold showers, some of that has been ice baths, some of that has been social exercises and experiments with myself, not really with other people, but just with myself. What can, where can I make myself uncomfortable? Can I go out and do something that would otherwise be a little bit like bring up some anxiety in me or just make me overall uncomfortable? And can I do those things, get over it, accomplish the task, realize that like I'm not going to die, even though my brain and body tells me that I will by being, extraneous from the pack, because we're pack animals. So the idea that like, tens of thousands of years ago or whatever, if you were, excommunicated from the tribe, you die. That's like where that feeling comes from. And so we want so desperately to fit in with everybody, which leads us to like, I don't know, like what's the term? We like sabotage ourselves. That's it. Sabotage ourselves into believing that we shouldn't step out of our comfort zone. We shouldn't go out and do those things that make us uncomfortable. And that's something that I realized pretty quickly in my like journey through all of this, that like I didn't want to fall into that trap. So I've been pushing myself pretty hard. One of the biggest things that I've learned as of recently is that silence is a really, really powerful tool. And it's a powerful tool in a few ways. And for me, it has worked extremely well. So the first way that it has helped me a ton is because it is a big way to push yourself and make yourself uncomfortable. Because if you truly think about it and sit down, there's a pretty big chance that, very similar to myself, you are very uncomfortable when there is silence, when there is quiet, when there is not stimulus. Like you can be quiet when you're on your phone and you're scrolling and watching stuff. You can be silent when you're, enthralled in an activity or watching a TV show. But can you be silent when you're just sitting there with a group of friends, or when you're just with yourself, not on your phone, just sitting in bed kind of thinking? Like, are you comfortable being with your own thoughts? And that was something I very quickly discovered I was not. So I've been working towards being silent, and it means making a conscious choice when I have the opportunity to not grab my phone when I feel the urge, because I'm like, I should scroll on socials to like occupy myself since I'm not doing anything. Sometimes not doing anything, at least for me, that's okay. Like, it's fine to not do anything. It's okay to just kind of be with yourself and with your thoughts. And it's an incredibly powerful tool for making yourself uncomfortable, because the best part is that when you're willing to be quiet and you are comfortable being silent, I've noticed around me like other people get uncomfortable because they have not exercised that skill. They have not exercised that level of discomfort. And so other people get uncomfortable. They start, grabbing for their phones and doing their stuff or whatever. And it becomes super empowering, at least for me, it becomes super empowering knowing that I'm looking at them and they're doing what I used to do, which is get uncomfortable. And I realize that I have moved a step further because they're getting uncomfortable and I'm not uncomfortable, or I'm less uncomfortable than they are because I don't have to grab my phone, or I don't have to just kind of make mouth noises, well, that's crazy. Small phrases like that, if you catch yourself saying those things, I know I did, and I catch many of my friends saying those things. And it's all just filler because your brain is not comfortable being alone by itself. And that has been super interesting for me to learn and like dive into. The second way that it's been an extremely powerful tool for me is, I tweeted this the other day, and I think I posted it on LinkedIn. I said, silence is a really powerful tool for thought. And the reason that I said that was because when I started exercising, being quiet more often, or being silent, or being comfortable not talking or not doing things, or like not listening to music every single time that I was in the car, or that, I was in the car for an hour, like I can only listen to music for like 20 minutes, and then I could like cut it off and just go the extra 40 minutes in like silence, or just thinking, going through my mind, going through the thoughts that are coming in. Most people are not willing to do that. And if you pay attention, you are also likely doing that. You're probably listening to music, the entire time that you're by yourself, or you're watching TikTok videos, or you're watching a TV show just to fill in the gaps, fill in the time. So when I started exercising, being quiet or being silent or not going and grabbing for my phone and just being okay, like sitting in bed, doing nothing and just thinking, or with a notepad writing or something like that, it became incredibly easy for me to get into deep brainstorming sessions or deep trains of thought, or really solve some of the problems or pass through even like some anxiety. This is interesting. Some of the anxieties that I had, or some of the things that I was afraid of, when I was willing to sit with myself for 20, 30, 40 minutes, even like 5 minutes sometimes, you're actually able to rationalize yourself out of being afraid of, or, anxiety being created by those things. I was able to actually like put away some of the problems that I had and some of the issues that I was facing, because they are not important. And I realized that they weren't important when I wasn't caught up in the instant gratification and the fear of, what the social media world creates, or what it at least created for me. So those are the two ways that silence has been an incredibly powerful tool for me. One, as a way to push myself, because if you'll find, I found that I was uncomfortable in a lot of situations when there was silence, or when there weren't words being said, and when I was with an individual, or I was somewhere with myself or with people where there was silence and I couldn't fill the void with stimulus. And that's when I realized I had a problem. The second way is that it allowed me to get much deeper into thought and trains of thought and thought patterns, to actually push past some of my problems and even just face some of the thoughts that are in my head that I would otherwise like try to put off or deal with later. I'm able to actually just sit with myself and accomplish the thought train on hand. And sometimes that even meant higher productivity at work, and it ultimately just makes me feel better and more fulfilled about the things that I'm doing. So that's kind of that's the stuff that's worked for me when it comes to the silence being a super powerful tool. If you found any value in this, I would really, really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, because I think that if this made sense to you and this vibed with you, maybe there are other things here or in the future that will, vibe with you as well. And if you have noticed any of this stuff, or this was mind-blowing for you, or you have already passed me, you did this 2 years ago or 5 years, 10 years ago, and you're already way past me and there's more stuff to look for, I want to have a conversation with you. Or even if, this was mind-blowing and you learned something, like comment down below, start a conversation. I respond to everybody. I just want to have a conversation with you. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and share the video with somebody. It really does make a difference. And I'll see you guys in the next video on the channel. Bye.